U-Sports on CBC, presented by les championnats U-Sport à Radio-Canada, une présentation du gouvernement du Canada, the Government of Canada, Nike, Fox 40, Veraburn Medical Supplies, les Bag Baron Rings, BioSteel, and by et par les systèmes Miller Waste Systems.
It's that moment again, the one you dream of every night. La seule chose qui te préoccupe, c'est la gloire, le cheminement de la réussite, of pushing yourself further than ever before. But the true glory is in the shadows. Les sacrifices que tu fais, quand toutes les chances sont contre toi, when you can't push one more second. Chase the glory. Visez haut.
Hello and welcome to the 2025 U-Sports Miller Waste Women's Hockey Championship on CBC. I'm Amanda Smith alongside Jay Shaw. We have sideline reporter Sarah Saeed with us as we get set to bring to you this U-Sports consolation matchup between the Alberta Pandas and the STFX X-Women. A number 1 seed and a number 4 seed, both facing upsets in their quarterfinal matchups, brings them to this early morning 10 a.m. matchup. Not what we might have expected in the seeding, but definitely what fans of U-Sport might have expected as results, as we saw both of the upper seeds in that half of the bracket get upset on Thursday.
Yeah, day one definitely brought a lot of fireworks. STFX and Concordia having a great start. Tightly contested game. Alberta and Waterloo in game 2. Alberta was on the wrong end of a 3-0 score with the host Waterloo Warriors, and like you mentioned, a lot of championship caliber teams here, especially with Waterloo as the host, but also played their way into this national championship.
Yeah, absolutely. Not the way Alberta expected to start this tournament, and not the game they wanted to be in. But expect to see a lot out of Madison Willen today.
Yeah, Madison Willen, she's in her 5th and final season with the Pandas. Over 126 games, she's put up 112 points, 23 points this season. You know she's going to want to end her tournament on a high note.
On the other side, Mackenzie Lothian having a great tournament, a great first game. She had a goal and an assist after 9 goals and 9 assists this season. A really nice way to start the tournament for her. Surely expecting more out of that first game, but don't expect any of these players to give up easily. They want to come out of this tournament with at least 1 W. And we'll take a quick break and we'll come back after this break for Puck Drop. You're watching U-Sports on CBC.
Le sport en direct sur icitout.tv. 100% énergie. 100% gratuit. Votre meilleur plan de match pour voir des performances exceptionnelles sur l'appareil de votre choix. C'est icitout.tv.
Stay. At Miller Waste, we're proud to sponsor the 2025 U Sports Women's Hockey Championship. There is lots of trash talk on the ice. At Miller Waste, we talk trash every day. We serve over 2 million Ontario households weekly, transforming more than 175,000 metric tons of recyclables and organic waste into reusable resources. Proudly Canadian, family-owned, always driving hard to the net. Let's make a difference. Game on.
This is a call to empower, to unite, and to celebrate the bold in all their glory. It's time to own the ice. Are you ready?
Hello and welcome back to the Woolwich Memorial Centre. We're inside the Dan Snyder Memorial Arena here, set for this first consolation matchup between the Alberta Pandas and the STFX X-Women. I'm Amanda Smith alongside Jay Shaw. Got Sarah Saeed on the sideline for us today. About to get underway here. STFX played a fantastic game against the defending champions, the Concordia Stingers, on Thursday. The first 27 minutes really taking it to them with the physicality. What do they need to do here today, Jay, to get a win out of this consolation game?
They need to continue to put pucks on the net. They unfortunately hit 2 crossbars midway through. That could have changed the course of that game. They just need to keep off their offensive push and see how they do.
We're underway here, and that's Pitts getting it down deep for the STFX X-Women. Alberta now with it. That's Lumbach heading down as she gets it in deep and goes for a change to start off this game. X high off the glass and out. Kaizel back to retrieve it. She's in some trouble there, but's able to get it up to Clouston. She'll throw it out in front here in a shot. That's blocked. Cycled back down low. Up high now to Twos on the point. She turns it over. Here's Hashman coming down the side. Oh, that nice blocker save there. Back out in front. A different looking goal today for the Pandas. Breakout here. That's Willen with it. She'll get it in deep, head for a change. Lothian back to retrieve it. Lothian now stopping up behind her own net, taking a look, surveying the scene. She goes through the middle. That's almost picked off, but she gets it up to Garnett, who's going to take it in and try and put it on net. And that's covered up there by Ray. Ray not starting many games this year for the Pandas, but she'll get this start in the consolation matchup.
Yeah, Ray on the season has a 1.54 goals against average, 9.08 save percentage in 9 games played.
It's a face-off win. Back to Lothian. Turnover behind the net as King is going to jump on that and push it up to Craig. Craig now into the STFX zone, but there to pick it up is Gagne. Gagne now with it. She'll take it through the neutral zone. Nice little move at center to get it deep. Anchor back to retrieve it. Anchor pressured now by Smith. Gets a turnover there. Anchor now. Tries to chip it up to Perot, but not able to, as X is able to get it deep once again. Center ice now. Clouston gets it deep for the Pandas. Back to retrieve it is Joyce. Joyce throws it around the boards, hoping for some help. Oh, and that's just outside for the Pandas. A little bit of a slow start here for both teams. No one really able to get possession on the puck. We're seeing some dump-ins on each side. It's Lombach now. She gets it deep. LaJoy with it. She cycles it around. Picked off there by Hinch as she tries to get it out, but now that's back to the point for Lombach. She's going to take a shot at the net through traffic. That's blocked. Switzer now with it in her own end. She gets it over to Hinch. Hinch looking for some help as she's heavily pressured, and that's taken away by Lombak in on the forecheck, but now she's going to pressure again. Oh, dangerous pass there through the middle, picked off by the Pandas. The Pandas now pressuring out in front. Oh, what a save there. She's taken out. Oh, what a great block there by Joyce as she takes out her own goaltender, but then lays out the body to prevent a goal.
Yeah, great recovery play by Joyce on that, where didn't get the zone entry or zone exit that she was looking for, so she kind of had to make up for it to keep things here knotted at 0 early on in the first period.
Yeah, X is going to take a penalty on that play as well, trying to defend their own net. That's going to be hinched to the box for some body contact. A different look as well here for the X-Women in goal as we see Oaks taking the start in this consolation matchup. The penalty kill of these STFX X-Women, 88% on the year, allowing a power play goal against Concordia, a penalty kill goal against Concordia in that first matchup that ended up being the game-winning goal. The Pandas, their power play 16.8% on the year, unable to capitalize on any of their 7 opportunities against the Waterloo Warriors Thursday night. And that's McCloskey with it, and she'll take a little rip at the net and get a face-off 200 feet from her own end on this penalty kill.
Yeah, the special teams are going to continue to play a very important role here. Like you mentioned, the X-Women had 88%. That was 3rd overall in the AUS, while the Pandas were 2nd on the power play the entire season at 16.8%. They'll look to make things a bit of a factor here today.
That's Kaiser with it now. She looks cross ice, a little bit too much for Kaisel, but she'll put it down into the corner for Kaiser again. Kaiser's going to put it up to Twos. Twos cross ice, back to her, and that's just outside of the zone. That's going to be offside on this power play for the Pandas.
You see early on in this penalty kill, 1 minute, just over a minute left in the penalty kill for the X-Women. They're doing a great job putting a lot of pressure, forcing the Pandas to make some moves at the blue line. Ultimately, that's what led to that offside there.
There's a face-off win by Pitts, but unable to get it down the ice. That's Lothian back with it now. Nice move there up to Pitts, and Pitts able to chip it out and down the ice. That's Soiko back to retrieve it. She was all over the ice that Thursday night. Unable to pop one by Kara Mark, but some good opportunities for her. That's Morden with it. She makes a move, dumps it off to Anchor, who's going to take it in the X-Women's zone. Cut to the middle. She tries to dump it off there to Lombak, but just a little bit in her skates. That's back up to Willen at the point. Over to Anchor. She'll take a look to shoot. She'll rip one. Oh, and that's just off the glove of Oaks and wide of the net. Anchor now pinches down to keep it in. She's with it. She'll cycle it back. That's back on the point with Soiko. She'll walk in, take a shot off the shin pads of Switzer. She'll go for a change. X-Women unable to get it all the way down the ice as Soiko will pick it up in the neutral zone and throw it back to Anchor. Anchor puts it up. Unable to get a stick on it is Clouston, as that'll go all the way back down to the Panda end as an icing, and that will do it for Alberta's first power play chance of the game.
Yeah, if you're head coach Ben Berthum, you've got to be very happy with the way that first penalty kill went. Now with things evened up, you're going to see if they can open up the score here.
Yeah, absolutely. STFX doing a great job keeping that dangerous power play to the outside. Not even a lot of chances there for the Pandas. That's McCloskey with it at the line. She'll throw it deep into the end, down on Ray, and she'll cover up for another face-off in the Pandas' end.
Like we mentioned in the pregame, look for STFX to put a lot of pucks on net. Alberta has done a great job all season holding their opponents to under 20 shots a game, and you can see early on here with X with 5 shots on goal already, you know that they're going to look to maybe shift things up and try and keep them to the outside.
Yeah, Alberta allowing the least goals across U Sports, averaging just over 1 goal a game. And you could see why in that game against the Waterloo Warriors on Thursday. They get in the shot lanes. They like to block shots, sticks in the lanes. It was very difficult for the Warriors to get anything going 5-on-5, all their goals coming off the rush. That's Perrette with it now. She'll get it deep into the STFX zone. She's pressured there by Moss as that goes around the boards. McCloskey with it now. She turns it over. That's up to the point to Twos. Can't quite handle that. Passes, it goes off the board to Perrette. Little bit of a scramble now at center ice. The Pandas come out with that. Take it back for Twos to regroup. Bourdedouis gets it down deep for the Pandas. As STFX regroups, tries for the long stretch pass. Leahy able to chip that one in. Black back to get it. Turns it over. Dangerous turnover there. That's a good save by Ray as she robs Garnett on the doorstep. As a turnover just came right onto her stick in the high slot there. Battle for it now. Udall comes out with that, but she's immediately pinned against the boards. Garnett takes it. She puts it over to Hinch, who's going to make a nice move at the blue line and look for a shot. That gets blocked just in front by Twos and goes all the way around the boards and out. Pandas now. That's Craig. She'll get it in deep. X back to retrieve it. Anchor unable to keep it in, but she'll just throw it back on Oaks. Hinch now, another dandy move through the middle, and she'll put it out wide. That's Switzer with the try on the net, but that goes just wide and around the boards to Pitts on the far side, who puts it back down deep into the end. Anchor back to retrieve it. Pitts now up to Lothian at the point, who tries to just throw it at the net, but that goes wide, and Panda's able to chip it down and go for a whole solid change here. Pitts now with it. She'll put it up to Moses, one of the STFX goal scorers in that Thursday matchup against Concordia. Morden now through the neutral zone. She has Twos on the opposite side. She'll shoot. Oh, nice save there by Oaks as she's able to control the rebound and thwart that 2-on-1 opportunity. LaJoy now with it on the far side. She'll cut to the middle and take a shot. Oaks again right into the X on her chest. That's 2 good saves there in a row by Oaks.
Yeah, the Pandas finally able to get a couple shots on net. Couple good chances. 4 shots on goal through the first 9 minutes of play here. Missy Ray also getting her first real test early on in that shift as well.
Yeah, 2 goaltenders who didn't have the majority of the load for these 2 teams throughout the season, getting a chance to show what they could do on a national stage here. A little bit of a scramble here in the neutral zone as Perrette will put it back to her defense to try and regroup. Oh, just offside there as a dangerous pass is picked off by McCloskey as she tries to go to the net, but just outside the line. So far, not much possession in either offensive zone for these teams. We saw this last night with the Toronto and UNB game, just a really tight neutral zone. A lot of dump-ins, a lot of back and forth, not a lot of maintained pressure offensively. That's Anchor back with it. She'll try and get it out, but she's stood up at the blue line by Moss, who gets it back in deep for the X-Women. Battle now in the corner, that's McCloskey. She loses that battle to Reich. Melnick now around the boards. That'll come out to Reich, and she'll dish it off to Craig. Little drop pass now to Reich. She's going to take it to the net on the backhand. Nice little move to the forehand, and that goes just wide of the net. STFX now. That's McPherson. She's content to just put it in deep and go for the change. Keisel now trying to muscle that puck out of the zone. She's able to do so. She chips that up to LaJoy, but she loses it. Back now in the STFX zone. Turnover there. That goes out front. Not good stick there by Pitts to break that one up, as that was a nice one-time opportunity in the high slot. Soiko now. Soiko chips it off the boards. Looking for Willen. A little bit too far. Pierce now taking it through the neutral zone. She tries to chip it in, but not quite far enough. Twos picks it up. Twos into the middle of the ice onto the stick of Carruthers, who's going to bring it into the Panda zone. Tied up in the corner. Battle for it. Smith now tries to go in on it, but she loses that battle. Willen's going to throw it out to center ice. A little bit too far. Joyce will pick it up for the X-Women and put it through the middle. Carruthers unable to gain the line, but she's back for another try as she'll take it wide this time. Oh, a nice block there by Melnick. And the Pandas are going the other way. Good defensive play there by Moses as she picks it up off the stick on an odd man rush. Unable to get it out. Gagne now. Lothian in front of her own net. She's able to throw it to the neutral zone. Oh, a nice play there by Carruthers to get it up, and here's Perry, but she's unable to get a clean shot on the net. A defensive stick in her way. That's a neat little poke up by Carruthers, who was going down, but still able to get that puck. And we'll see you after a short break. You're watching U Sports on CBC.
Le sport en direct sur ICTou.tv. 100% énergie. 100% gratuit. Votre meilleur plan de match pour voir des performances exceptionnelles sur l'appareil de votre choix. C'est ICTou.tv.
This is a call to empower, to unite, and to celebrate the bold in all their glory. It's time to own the ice. Are you ready?
CBC Sports is the home of university sports in Canada. Catch the gold medal game of the 2025 Women's Hockey Championships Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern on CBC Gem and cbcsports.ca. U Sports on CBC. Champions are made here. Welcome back inside the Dan Snyder Memorial Arena. We're tied up at zeros between the STFX X-Women and the Alberta Pandas. Two teams with very different play styles.
Yeah, we're noticing early on here, STFX breaking out of the zone, really going up the wall. The Pandas are making their zone exit through the center, so you're going to have to look to both teams playing a little bit of a chess game to figure out defensively what they need to do.
There's Clouston now behind the STFX net. She took one in wide but was unable to get a shot off. A battle for it in behind the STFX zone. Oh! That's McCloskey taken down behind the net. No call there. McCloskey now with it. She'll put it cross ice to Moses, who's going to take it into the Alberta zone. Cut to the middle, look for a shot. Another shot block there by King, and Alberta's going the other way. Craig now chips it into the STFX zone. Haseman back on it. Another battle in behind the net here. Alberta's going to come out with it. That's in the feet. Prolonged battles here behind the net. STFX finally comes out with the puck. That's Leahy who's going to chip it around anchor and go after it. Melnick in behind the net in a battle here. Bouncing puck, Anchor's able to grab it and make a nice move. She's going to take it up the wall and look for an outlet. Into the middle here now for Udall. Udall able to get it into the STFX zone and go for a change. McPherson now, she'll chip it up the wall. A little bit too far for help. Willen now back in her own zone. She's going to look cross ice to Keisel, who's going to look through the middle again. Pitt's able to break that up successfully, but Kaiser with it now. She'll get it down low to Willen. Willen will chip it across behind the net for Soiko. Soiko in a board battle now. That's the story of this period so far. Tough to get possession. You're going to have to battle for it between these two teams. Switzer now pressuring hard in that neutral zone, but unable to get anything going. Keisel throws it back into the StFX zone. Stretch pass there, intended for Pierce, but that's going to be a little bit too high and out of her reach, and that'll be icing against the X-Women.
You're seeing coming out of this TV break, the Pandas seem to have found a little bit of an extra step. You have to wonder if head coach Howie Draper had a few words and has been studying the systems that X is playing today, maybe offering a couple adjustments. You see them starting to get pucks deep in their zone and attacking with 2.
Howie Draper, no stranger to playing on this national stage. Oh, and at the end of the shift there, Switzer might have had an on-man rush, but after that icing, just needed a change, so dumps it in there. Joyce now, she'll try and get it up. That's broken up in the neutral zone. Lombak now, she'll try and take it towards the StFX net, but that's broken up. Melnick looks for the chip in. Lombak able to provide it. Gagne through the middle, that's picked off by Anchor. That's Perrette now, she'll take it in, and that's a nice glove save there by Oakes. Still, neither team able to get possession for any long period of time or even short period of time in the offensive zone. All their shots so far coming off the rush.
Yeah, both teams doing a great job of keeping pucks to the outside. Alberta doing a great job of blocking shots and getting a couple chances on the transition with some odd man rushes. We see our penalty coming up here on the play.
Yeah, that's going to go against the StFX X-Women. Mackenzie Lothian getting an interference call here as she collided with, I think that was Clouston behind the net. Clouston taking the worst of that one, and Lothian will sit for 2 minutes. This will be Alberta's second power play opportunity of the game. Nothing to show for on their first, as the StFX penalty kill was able to keep those shots to the outside, and no real chances for them on the last. So we'll see how they can switch their strategy here to try and get through this penalty kill.
Yeah, certainly, and the power play struggled in their first game as well. So you're going to look to break that goose egg with a power play goal here.
Soiko with it, she gets it across to Anchor. Anchor down low, that one's a little bit too bouncy for Lombak. X tries to clear, Soiko's there to keep it in. Anchor now, she'll take a rip from the point through traffic, but that's blocked in front. Back up to Anchor. Anchor over to Lombak. Lombak will put it down to Soiko, who will take a step and take a shot. Oh, and that's a nice defensive play there by McCloskey on the rebound. Pokes it off the stick, stopping a sure goal there. That's back up high to Anchor. Anchor down low now. Back up to Anchor. She'll take a rip at the net along the ice. That one's poked aside neatly by Oakes. Joyce able to get that rebound down the ice as the X-Women go for a change. Lombak now drops it off for Anchor. Anchor will put it up to Udall. Udall gets stood up there by McPherson. She's able to poke it back to the Panda side of the ice, but they're right back here. That's LaJoy now takes it in, but puck's poked off her stick. That'll come back out to Keisel. Keisel to twos. Oh, it Pitts with a nice stick is able to break that pass up, throw it back into the Panda end. Panda's having some trouble getting out of their own end here on this power play as StFX is bringing the pressure through the neutral zone.
Yeah, very aggressive power play, and they're not letting the Pandas get over that blue line easily. You can see here a dump in, causing a little bit of chaos here on the wall. Pandas having a hard time setting up.
That's Keisel now up at the point. She'll throw it over to Kaiser. That's high pressure again, almost breaks that up. But two's there to collect the puck. She'll take a shot on net. Nice block there by McPherson. StFX unable to clear the puck though. McPherson back on it. She's pressured by Udall. Black with it now down low. She'll try and get it around the boards. But Moss there to pick it up. Lothian now out of the box. She can be dangerous. She tries to go through the legs there on King, but King able to stand her up, and Ray covers it up for a whistle.
Yeah, great job by fourth-year defenseman Annie King on that rush there, standing up the StFX attack here. King is a plus 18 on the season. That's one of the highest on the Alberta Pandas.
Lothian now with it. She'll survey the scene and she'll throw it over to her partner. Moses now down in. Garnett will pick it up. She's smothered by 2 Pandas. Hasteman now in the battle with her, but Perrette will be the one to pick that up. Perrette now trying to navigate through the neutral zone. She gets dumped. No call on the play. As Garnett brings it, she tries a shot on the net there. That gets deflected wide. Melnick wins a battle. She looks for her teammate, and they have to be aware there to avoid a too many women on the ice call, I should say. McCloskey now chips into the zone. She gets tied up with Perrette there. A little bit of a side battle going on over by the benches. Reich takes it in, tries for the net, but that goes wide. Smith picks it up, throws it up to Gagne, who's going to chip it into the Panda zone. The wrong side of center, though, the linesman will say, as that's going to be an icing again here against the X-Women.
Yeah, you see the X bench up in arms wanting a too many skaters call, but unfortunately they weren't going to get it. The grounds to make that call just weren't there, but there are a little bit of extracurriculars after. So start of the physical side of the game really picking up in these last 2 minutes here in the late stages of the first period.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of physical play so far in this tournament. All 4 games on Thursday and Friday brought some penalty minutes, some physical play, so we'll expect that to continue in this game. Lothian now off the glass. 2 X-Women. Gagne retrieves it, but that's going to be called offside for the X-Women. A battle that just doesn't quite get in zone in time. Could have been an odd man rush there for STFX. 2 minutes to go here, just over 2 minutes to go in the first period. Still tied up at 0s. Hinch now with it. She'll put it into the Panda end. Black back to retrieve it. She'll chip it to Udall, sorry there, who gets stood up at the blue line. McCarroll with it. Dumps it off to her defenseman. McCloskey. She'll take her time through the neutral zone. She'll pick her way through the Panda defenders. Takes it wide into the zone. Cycles it around the boards to Joyce on the other side, who pokes it right back down to McCloskey, who's going to get pinned into the boards. McCloskey, one of the smaller players out here on the ice, but extremely skilled. Oftentimes comes out worse from these battles, but not afraid to get in there and battle it out with the best of them. Pitts now, she'll throw one on net from the corner. That's turned away by Ray. Joyce with it. She'll put it up to McCloskey, who's just going to throw it into the Panda end and go for a change. Just a minute left here now in the first period. Hinch back on it. Hinch will chip it up off the boards, but that's broken up by Lombach as she comes in 3-on-1 here to the middle of the ice. Nice move, scores! That's Jaden Morden breaking the goose egg with 40 seconds left in the first period.
And a great move as she was sent in all alone. A last second deke had a wide open net to bury it to open the score here with just 39 seconds left in the first period.
That has to feel like a monkey off the back of the Pandas as they break their tournament goose egg. That's almost a full 80 minutes scoreless for them, but Morden able to break that goose egg and give the Pandas a lead late in this first period. Battle here for it. Oh, turned over there for Soiko. Soiko takes a rip at the net, and that's up there in the VIPs. Heads up, Dan Church. And that'll be a face-off in the X-Women zone.
Alberta doing a great job putting the pressure on here in the late stages of the period. You know, Amanda, in the hockey world, that last minute of play is one of those time frames where you don't want to give up a goal, especially heading into the break. So you're going to have to look for St. FX to come out firing in the second period.
Yeah, absolutely. In St. FX, their first game against Concordia, the final minutes of the period, also not successful for them in the second, as they were tied with about 2 minutes left, but Concordia able to get the go-ahead goal in the final minutes of the second. Really ended up sealing the game. St. FX comes here the other way, trying for a last-minute push. Lothian's in on it, but that'll do it for the first period. Alberta really able to push it in the final minutes of that first period, putting the pressure on these X-Women coming out of this period with a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, if you're Coach Howie Draper, you got to be very happy with how they ended that first period. Able to get some offense in the later stages here and go to the room with a 1-0 lead with still lots of hockey left. A little bit of a conversation here between the St. FX captain and the officials, so you have to wonder.
Yeah, a little bit of a conversation between the refs and the box there as well at the end of the period, so we'll see if anything comes of that to start the second period. But thanks for joining us for this first period. That score is Pandas 1, X-Women 0. You're watching U Sports on CBC.
Let me guess. First claim with us?
Yep, here we go.
We checked your coverage, and we're good to go.
Oh, we'll see.
TD Insurance is the only provider with auto centers that handle your claim on site.
Sure.
We'll do your repair.
It can't be this easy. Can it?
And your rental car, too.
Is this a dream? Am I wearing pants?
Advisors, repairs, and rentals, all in one place. If you were expecting drama, you won't find it here. TD. Ready for you.
We're coming to you live from the Woolwich Memorial Arena. Proudly built by Malou Blamey Construction. Your community builder, supporting charities and local events. That's what we do. Come cheer on these U Sports Women Championship rising stars and be part of the action. See them, be them. Proud supporters of local champions, Malou Blamey Construction. We'll see you at the rink.
This is a call to empower, to unite, and to celebrate the bold in all their glory. It's time to own the ice. Are you ready?
Hey U Sports fans, check out shop.usports.ca for this week's promotional item from the Nike Team Collection. Visitez le shop.usport.ca pour en profiter de la promotion de la semaine de la collection Nike Team.
Welcome back inside the Dan Snyder Memorial Arena. You're watching the consolation matchup between the St. FX X-Women and the Alberta Pandas. That's a score of 1-0. We've seen a lot of back and forth so far in this period. No team really able to dominate offensively. Not a lot of possession in either end. We'll see what the head coaches can say to their teams here to try and get something going in the second period.
Yeah, even with shots being 8-7 after the first, not a lot of quality chances on both sides of the puck. Both teams doing a great job keeping shots to the outside and even getting in the way, making life really easy for the goaltenders.
Yeah, a few good saves on either side, but definitely a lot of shots coming from outside on the rush. I think the best save we saw so far this period was actually by a defenseman on the St. FX side after taking out our own goaltender, had to lay out the body.
Yeah, Lainey Joyce had to make up for a little bit of a mishap in her own end and then got in front. Prevented Alberta from opening the scoring early on. Alberta was able to chip in.
Absolutely, and we'll take it now to Gabrielle Santerre, overtime hero yesterday for the Bishop Gators. This is the U Sport Champion Spotlight brought to you by PepsiCo Foods, and we'll learn a little bit about the legacy she's building with the purple and white.
I'm a hockey player. I've been playing since I was 4 or 5 years old. I'm doing a lot of other sports too. I love golf. I love flag football. But I really like to hang out with friends. I'm studying psychology in school too, so I really like the mental side of sports. I started to play hockey with boys hockey. I think it's really when I switched with women's hockey that I saw my potential and that I really set myself some goal and that I wanted to go higher in terms of level. So the main reason why I chose Bishop is because it was a young program and I wanted to build that program and bring it to the tops. Also, the value and the culture of the program really resonate with me. I'm so proud of being here. I'm so proud of being part of the program. I'm also really proud to play in Canada, to play in my country. I had the opportunity to go NCAA D1. I visited a couple university there. Playing in your country, having the chance of staying close to my family and building something here that aligns with my value and that I want to just continue to build that culture and building a winning culture. I think it's huge for me and I'm just so grateful to have that opportunity each day. So I'm trying to make it the most out of it. I'm doing a major in sports studies and a minor in psychology. Later, I would like to mix both and become a sports psychologist. I'm working with one in particular, and I think it's really helping me a lot. One of the reasons why I performed that well so far. I think a lot of people put that aside, but for me, it's a major reason of my success. And I think more and more athletes are starting to realize the importance of being in a good state of mind to perform and just being confident, being in the present moment. During the pandemic, I didn't know what to do, so I started reading books, and I wanted to read books about sports performance and just how to be the best athlete I could possibly be. Since then, I'm just really passionate, and I think I saw the improvement in my performance too. So it's just really something that I want to continue to research and improve myself. A feeling that you have for yourself. It's not really about the outcome or whatever, but just the feeling that you have that you gave everything, that you were true to yourself. I think a lot of people put emphasis on the result of if you win, if you lose. The personal feeling that you have with yourself, are you satisfied? Do you feel like you give your all, and do you feel like you were prepared enough? And if the answer is yes, then in my head you had succeeded. So
Hey, changemakers. Change it up. Turn ideas into action. Passion into purpose. And questions into real solutions. Because whatever path you choose, here, you'll make an impact and get ready to change the world. Make your change. Discover your story at Waterloo.
This is a call to empower, to unite, and to celebrate the bold in all their glory. It's time to own the ice. Are you ready?
Feel every hit, goal, and celebration as if you're standing right on the sideline, immersing you in the game like never before, bringing heart-pounding action directly to millions of fans. We deliver unparalleled simplicity and tailor-made digital broadcasting solutions crafted to make you feel every moment in a way like never before. Our passionate team ensures your message reaches audiences. Proudly Canadian, we bring a touch of innovation and our passion to the world stage. ISI Live, be there.
Hey U Sports fans, check out shop.usports.ca for this week's promotional item from the Nike Team Collection. Visitez le shop.usport.ca pour en profiter de la promotion de la semaine de la collection Nike Team.
Oh, smoke, Missy! pas aussi mauvais que la cigarette, ça.
C'est juste une vapoteuse.
Fais-toi pas d'illusions.
Vapoter, c'est jouer avec sa santé. Brise l'illusion.
At Miller Waste, we're proud to sponsor the 2025 U Sports Women's Hockey Championship. There is lots of trash talk on the ice. At Miller Waste, we talk trash every day. We serve over 2 million Ontario households weekly, transforming more than 175,000 metric tons of recyclables and organic waste into reusable resources. Proudly Canadian, family owned, always driving hard to the net. Let's make a difference. Game on.
U Sports on CBC, presented by les championnats U-Sport à Radio-Canada, une présentation du gouvernement du Canada, the Government of Canada, Nike, Fox 40, Veraburn Medical Supplies, les bagues Baron Rings, BioSteel, and by et par les systèmes Miller Waste Systems.
Oh my god. Snow? Hello and welcome back inside the Dan Snyder Memorial Arena on a snowy day here in Elmira. Thanks for joining us for this consolation game between STFX X-Women and the Alberta Pandas. Just one goal to show in that first period, coming in the final minute and a half of the first period. That's Jaden Morden on the board for Alberta unassisted.
Jaden had a glorious chance. She got sent in all alone and made no mistake here. As you see, she made a tremendous move, wide open net to tuck it in to open the scoring here late in the first frame.
All the chances so far for both these teams off odd man rushes just like this. Alberta able to capitalize on theirs as Morden gets all alone in front of the net and makes no mistake.
Yeah, you're seeing a lot of puck battles. The only real chances of the first period are coming off of odd man rushes.
Yeah, Alberta with 2 power play opportunities in that first period, but capitalized on neither of those. We'll look to see if Alberta might go to the box a couple times here this period to even out those chances. Jay, what do you think the messages are to both teams in these dressing rooms with their head coaches as they try and leave this tournament with a win?
I would think the message would be, quite honestly, try and get pucks in. You got to figure out a way to get away from having those battles along the boards. Try and generate some chances, maybe some odd man rushes, see if you can get something on a turnover, because the way that first period was played, that seems to be the theme on how you're going to score some goals.
Yeah, STFX doing a lot along the boards in that first period. That's just kind of their style of play, try and chip it in and win battles and throw it to the front of the net, but not quite working for them here as we see that Joyce save again as she takes out her goaltender Oakes and has to lay out for it. Lothian's been all over the ice this period.
Like we talked about, a lot of shooting lanes getting clogged up here. It's causing a lot of odd man rushes going the other way. You're seeing a couple times Pandas doing a great job blocking shots. The momentum of the St. FX forwards have caused an odd man rush going back the other way.
Yeah, a lot of gritty neutral zone play as well, leading to those turnovers, causing some more odd man rushes, and exactly what happens here for the Pandas is they're able to break the goose egg of the tournament and put themselves on the board.
And I think if you're St. FX, you're going to want to come out in this first minute or two of the second period and try and generate some pretty good chances here. Unfortunately, led the game's opening goal here in the late stages of the first, so they're going to look to respond here.
Yeah, absolutely. Alberta's had a lot of success breaking out through the middle of the net. Sorry, the middle of the ice, pardon me, and St. FX might want to try clogging that area up and force them to go along the board so that they can kind of play into the St. FX gritty style of play. Men's volleyball U-Sport Championships happening right now as well. The gold medal game will be played Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern here on CBC Sports. You won't want to miss that exciting time. We're back as the teams are ready to take the ice for the second period.
You see Misty Ray leading out the Pandas. Third-year goaltender, good to get some action here on the national stage here.
We'll see later today a couple semifinal matchups. The Warriors beat the Pandas in Thursday action as they move into the semifinal against Concordia, who took out the St. FX X-Women. The Varsity Blues defeating the UNB Reds to move into the second semifinal of the night. And Bishops with the overtime heartbreaker against UBC. That's Gabrielle Santerre, last year's Rookie of the Year and Player of the Year, the hero for Bishops.
Yeah, an exciting finish to that Bishops game. Bishops tying it up in the late stages of the third, getting lots of chances to put it away and finally getting the job done to send them to the semifinals.
Yeah, semifinal one here, 4 p.m. Eastern on CBC Sports. Not a seed combination you see very often in the semifinals of these U-Sport champions. It'll be number 8 Waterloo and number 5 Concordia. Both upsets against the higher seeds we see here today, but maybe expected upsets if you followed the U-Sports hockey this year. Is Waterloo not a true 8 seed this year as they were OUA finalists, lost the McCaw Cup final this year to the Toronto Varsity Blues, but not too often you see that 8 seed being a contender, that host seed being a contender at the U-Sport level.
Yeah, like you talked about, there's no true number 8 seed and a lot of jockeying for position in the rankings, so to have a quote-unquote upset, you have to take that with a grain of salt, as all 8 teams have definitely played their way onto the national stage here in Elmira.
Yes, and the other upset, Concordia over St. FX. Concordia, defending U-Sport champions, probably the team to beat in this tournament. They almost were back on their heels there against these X-Women, who came out with a hot start for the first 27 minutes or so of that game, but unable to unseat the giant that is the Concordia Stingers. Back underway here in the second period. Alberta back in their own zone trying to chip it out, but that's taken by Pitts. Cycled down low to Switzer. Switzer's on it now. She'll try and dump it back, but that pops up to Moss at the point. She'll take a rip, but that's blocked by Alberta Panda captain, and that's going to be a 3-on-1. Lomback with it. She'll drop it to the slot. Oh, and a nice block there by McPherson once again. That's goal scorer Morden with it now. She'll put it. Battle now for it on the boards. Moss chips it out to center. Two's with it now. She'll get it deep into the St. FX end. Oakes out to play it. Oakes will drop it off for McPherson, who chips it around the boards to herself. She'll pick it up again and throw it up to Hinch. Sorry, that's Garnett, sorry, for the X-Women. She'll throw it on net. Ray able to glove that one down. These two teams, as we said, a lot of chances off the rush, a lot of chances to the outside. What I'd love to see is these teams start working a little low to high. We've seen a ton of board battles in the corners. The end zones in this rink, so big, so much space up there for the defense, especially for the X-Women. You have players back there like Lothian who can really make some stuff happen from up there. So moving it up to the points here into some space might be key in the second period to generate some offense. It's Garnett with it down low. She tries to make something happen. Puck trickles off her stick. Alberta's back the other way. That's Soiko with it. She can't keep control. Willen now. She'll move it back to the point to Anchor. Anchor goes cross ice. Unable to handle it is her partner as Lothian brings it back through center ice. Garnett thought she had some space, but someone offside at the other end of the blue line there. That'll be a face-off just outside the Panda end.
Yeah, a little last-second play at the blue line was all it was, just to be one step behind on that zone entry and force that offside.
That's Smith on the draw for the X-Women, who have been dominating in the face-off circle so far this game. Anchor back to retrieve it now. She's pressured heavily by Smith. Alberta now with some speed. Battle in behind the STFX end. Alberta comes out with it. That's Reich. Throws it back down deep for Craig. Udall now with it. She makes a move and another. She'll look for some help as she's pressured heavily there by Joyce, who's able to poke it off her stick. Switzer now in applying a forecheck as the rest of her teammates go for a change. Kaisel's going to throw it down onto Oakes, who's going to cover it up for a face-off in the X-Women zone.
Yeah, and with Alberta being a pretty high-flying offensive team, you see early on here, X looks like they've changed a bit of a defensive zone formation, looking like they've gone to a bit of a passive box with the extra defender forcing the puck carrier.
Yeah, the X-Women here content to keep Alberta to the outside, and they've done a pretty good job of it, especially on this in-zone play. We see a lot of board battles as McCloskey there ties them up, and they're able to get this puck going the other way. Out to the neutral zone. That's King who puts it up to Bordedwi. McCallum now with it. Sorry, McCara it is. She dumps it into the Panda zone. Battle for it now. Perry able to chip it out to the other side of center, but that's picked up and thrown through the middle of the ice to LaJoy. LaJoy now, she'll throw it to Lombak. Lombak unable to handle it, but pops out to Anchor, who's going to try and get it deep in the X-Women zone. Not quite far enough as McPherson grabs it. She puts it up to McCloskey. The pass just a little too much for her to handle. She might have had a break on net there. Ray puts it to her defense as they're trying to break this one out. Off the boards now, that's picked off by Martinson. She looks for make something happen. She throws a high rising shot off the shoulder of Ray, who does a good job fighting that one off. Out in front now, off the foot of LaJoy, who is without her stick, and that one almost snuck by Ray on some friendly fire. X putting some pressure on now as they have had the Pandas hemmed into their zone, but Anchor able to throw it out. Lombak's just going to dump it in deep so her team can get a change. Pitt's now with it on the far side. She'll just chip it out to center ice. That's chipped into the zone there by Kaiser. She battles it out with Moses. Leahy now battling against Soiko, who makes a nice little move to bring it into the X zone, but no farther as she stood up by Moses. Leahy now and Soiko go to battle for that puck. Kaisel's going to take it, try and chip it to the net, but that's picked up by Lothian as she makes a move behind the net, and she's going to carry this one. She puts it to Hasteman on the far side, who's going to bring it in with some speed. Throws it to the net. Oh, she had Garnett wide open in front, but just a little bit too far for her. Soiko now chips it down to Lothian. STFX going to regroup here. Joyce along the wall. Garnett's going to bring it into the zone. She's pressuring twos there along the wall. The STFX faithful trying to bring some energy to their team now as they battle it out in the Panda zone. Tied up along the board still. The official content to let them keep battling. Puck pops free and Soiko makes a physical play there. I think that's Pitts who took the worst of that, and the puck battle continues just a little farther down the boards. Officials still telling them to move it as it looks pretty pinned against the wall here. These puck battles can be pretty tiring. As you can see the steam kind of coming out of this puck battle. Still no whistle from the official. Seems to think that's loose, but finally we'll get a stoppage in play here as that puck battle was allowed to continue for about a full minute pinned up along the boards.
Yeah, definitely ate up some time, that's for sure. That's starting to look a little bit more like a rugby scrum other than a play in the corner.
Yeah, no team, about 3 players each down in the corner as the clock continues to tick down, much to the dismay of both benches. I think about 20 extra seconds ticked off the clock there as the official will head to the box to try and get that sorted out.
See a little bit of a change here in STFX on their zone exits, on their breakout. You're seeing they're starting to pull a high forward out to keep these Panda defense a little higher up, give them a little bit more space around the blue line. Alberta doing a great job in the first period of hemming in STFX, so Ben Berthume recognizing that and changing things up to hopefully generate a little bit more offensive.
Yeah, absolutely. Short format tournaments like this, so important to be able to change strategies on the fly if you feel something's not working. That's McCloskey now. Oh, she tries to put it to her partner, doesn't get all of it, but poked up to Moss and no harm, no foul. Another board battle for a puck now as McCloskey puts the body in and she's able to win it out to center ice. Oh, a little bit of a delayed decision there by Panda defensewoman King as she almost misses that one and has an odd man rush coming back, but surprise, surprise, another board battle here. That's been the story of this game so far.
You have to wonder how long these officials are going to let these mini scrums in the corner go before they blow the play dead and restart.
Yeah, especially when you allow those to go on for a long time. Tempers can flare in these physical games when, oh, that's Reyna without a stick, but she gets to the top of first crease and is able to make a good save. No rebound there from the shot, on the shot from Moss.
I mean, these physical puck battles, like you mentioned, tempers starting to flare. You have to wonder if a call is going to come out of this. So far, the officials have done a good job of letting a lot of the physical stuff go.
Yeah, always a fine line on physicality in these tournaments, especially as we see the PWHL start to gain some physicality that's let go. As we watch those leagues get more and more physical, you wonder how that will trickle down into these feeder leagues like U-Sport. It's Anchor after it. She's going to get beat by Pierce, who's going to cycle it down low for Pitts. Pitts with it. She's going to put it up to the point to Moses. She'll go to her partner Lothian. Lothian will take a rip at the net. That goes wide. Pitts is first on it. She's pinned along the near boards here. Switzer takes it out of the pile. She tries to get a shot on net, but that's blocked by Anchor. Oh, that's going to be a penalty against X's. Panda's bringing it in the zone. Ripped a shot on net. Moses with the block. And that's going to be a slashing call it's going to be against STFX. We'll see who the guilty party is here. And it looks like it's going to be Switzer after that chance on the back check, just getting a little bit too involved with the stick work.
Yeah, you felt that there was a call that was inevitably coming. There was a lot of back and forth, a lot of battles going on in the corner there. Switzer with the extra whack was enough to have the officials raise their arm and into the box for 2 minutes or less.
Yeah, the Alberta third power play chance of the game here. We'll see if they can capitalize. Their power play so far held scoreless in this tournament. Soiko, she moves back to Anchor from her own end. Anchor has been piloting this power play from the top. They'll look to break it out, something that they've been having a little bit of trouble with on the power play, as STFX doing a good job of locking up the neutral zone. So they'll just dump it in and go after it with numbers. Oaks there makes a really good play. Will that clear the zone? No, Anchor gets there in time. She's able to beat two ex-defenders, but off the skates of Lombak. And that's going to be Garnett the other way if STFX with the break. She's content to pull it out and waste some time here on this penalty kill. She pulls it out and just throws it back on Ray. Back in now on the forecheck. Oh, she steals it. Garnett steals the puck. She goes to the net. Ray covers that one up.
See some extracurriculars here. There's an extra shot on the Pandas goaltender. A little extra whack after she had covered the puck, and understandably so. You see the Panda defense voice their opinion.
Yeah, Morden unhappy with how that play went. She's going to take exception, and she's going to tell the officials exactly why she did what she did, and with confidence. And you know what? Plays like that, got to stand up for your goaltenders. It was a late job with a clearly covered puck, and you'll see players defend their goaltenders on that every single time.
Yeah, absolutely. In a scenario where the power play hasn't really had a good chance to set up, a little bit of frustration as well. But like you mentioned, definitely warranted to take that extra shot and plead your case to the officials, and no worse for wear, and away we go. We have an injury on the play here.
McPherson down. It looks like she might have got caught up in a bit of a knee-to-knee collision here. You hate to see that. You hope she's all right.
Yeah, you saw both players looked like they were skating the opposite direction. An unfortunate incidental contact, and two trainers out here on the ice. Not much movement here.
Yeah, she went down immediately holding that left knee.
Just seen on the replay, it actually doesn't look much like a collision, more of maybe catching an edge and coming down awkwardly on her knee. As you can see, 3 medical staff out here.
Yeah, they'll check up on her. As you hate to see something like that where you just catch an edge, and especially when you're not expecting it. She'll get to her feet now with some help from her teammates.
Not a lot of weight being put on that left leg. You see a nice ovation from both the Pandas and the STFX faithful here. She's going to head straight to the room for.
Yeah, and that's a tough loss on the STFX back end. We hope she's okay. McPherson, a stout defender back there for the STFX X-Women. She has 11 points on the year, and we've seen her getting lanes and block shots, and that'll be a tough loss on the back end for these X-Women. Lothian now with it. She'll get it down low. Still 40 seconds left on this Panda power play opportunity. They're going to bring the pressure with McCloskey. She has some speed. She can get in there and pressure. But now coming the other way here. That's Perry. She brings it into the zone towards the net. That's broken up by the STFX defense. McCloskey now with it. McCloskey put it around the boards. Lothian after it. Lothian unable to get there first as Willen takes it, but Lothian back on it. She's able to throw it back out to center ice, but Anchor coming off the bench able to break that up. Lothian has it now. Sorry, Anchor that is. She'll bring it into the STFX end. Penalty now expired for the X-Women as they'll throw it out to center ice. Melnick able to tie it up for long enough that Anchor can come back and bail her out. Anchor puts it off the wall. That's Morden in with Lomback. She'll throw it to the middle of the ice. That goes off the skate of Joyce and into safe territory. Joyce now with it behind her own net. She looks for some help. Stick of Lomback breaks up that breakout pass, but eventually dribbles to Switzer, who's able to get it out to neutral ice.
See a bit of a delayed call there, but definitely warranted, as right at the blue line, a bit of a collision, and you're going to see an interference. No, maybe a tripping call. Here we are coming up.
This will be the St. FX's first power play opportunity of the game. And we will go to break here, and when we come back, you'll see St. FX's first power play opportunity of the game. Thanks for tuning in with us on this Saturday morning. You're watching U Sports on CBC. Better than doing it the first game of the playoffs.
Yeah.
Welcome back. We're inside the Dan Snyder Memorial Arena. Saturday morning consolation matchup between the St. FX X-Women and the Alberta Pandas. 1-0 on the board for the Pandas. As we take a look at the CBC Men's U Sport Championships. CBC Sports is the home of university sports in Canada. Catch the best U Sports men's hockey teams as they face off in the 2025 U Sports BioSteel U Cup in Ottawa. Action is underway today on CBC Gem, cbcsports.ca, and CBC Sports YouTube.
Le sport en direct sur ici-tout.tv.
The St. FX end with some speed, but she's tied up there by Moses. Udall's going to come in after it. McCloskey after her. Reich tries to take it to the net, but she's stopped there as McCloskey's going to take it out. McCloskey has some help. Oh, passes it to the center. Perry unable to get all of it, puts one wide of the net. Moses now with it. She'll look for someone in front. Moses up to Lothian. Lothian will take a rip at the net, but that's blocked by Twos. Back up to the point for Moses. A little bit too far there for McCloskey as Alberta's able to get it down into the St. FX end. 50 seconds gone on this power play opportunity for the X-Women. Lothian will wait for help on the breakout here. She'll give it to Moses, who puts it up through to Pierce. Pierce now into the middle for Pitts. Pitts stopped there, but back to the point for Lothian. She'll take a shot. Another nice block there. Gagne this time. Sorry, that's the Joy this time as that goes to center ice. Good pressure there as Kaiser's in alone. Nice save by Oakes. That goes up and over the glass after a nice blocker save by Oakes. And a great opportunity shorthanded there for the Pandas.
Yeah, it's the story of the aggressive penalty kills. Both sides generating more offense here on the penalty kill. Alberta doing a terrific job of keeping the pressure up, letting that four-skater unit for X come through the neutral zone, trying to pick and choose their time where they attack. And you can see probably the best chance of the second period for the Pandas come on the penalty kill.
Yeah, St. FX power play looks good once they get it set up in the Alberta zone, but having some trouble doing that for a second time after a first push as their entry is once again broken up by the Panda penalty kill. Reich without a stick has to go and retrieve one. Nice shot there, rebound, oh, just wide of the net for Moss. She's not able to convert on a nice rebound from a Hinch shot off the rush. McCloskey now, she puts it down low. That's McCara walking around. That ends the power play for St. FX as a shot from Hinch goes just wide. McCloskey cycles it down to Perry. McCara now tries to center it from McCloskey, can't find her. Anchor wins a puck battle there, but McCloskey turns it over. She'll walk to the net. Broken up there by the stick of King. Hasteman goes the other way. Sorry, that's Udall. She'll chip it in to the St. FX end. Joyce now with it, puts it over to Moss. Moss off the boards for Switzer. Switzer able to get it out to Pierce, who's going to take it wide on Perrette. She tries to get to the forehand, can't quite get there. Throws one in net. That goes through the crease. And back out to center ice. That's Switzer back to retrieve it. Moses now. Her pass broken up by the stick of boarded Wee. But it pops back out harmlessly to center ice. Kaizel tries to get it into the zone, but that's picked up by Pitts. Joyce now through the middle to Switzer. She tries to break through. Poked off her stick at the last minute. She'll chase that into the corner. Clouston now throws it around the boards. That's kept in by Joyce. High shot goes over, hits the glass. Moses cross ice. That one has a little bit too much heat on it for Carruthers. Oh, it just bounces off Joyce's stick and out as Moses is back to regroup for the X-Women. Moses now throws one in on net. Ray will glove that one down. Contend for a face-off and a line change.
You can see that change in the breakout that St. FX made here in the second period, and forcing pucks down through the center is really starting to pay off. They've got a couple chances as opposed to the first period where we're trying to work the puck up the wall. As we see a stick retrieval here, causing a bit of a delay here before play resumes.
Yeah, that was Reich losing it on the penalty kill, retrieving one from the bench. I'm sure she wants her favorite stick back from the penalty box there. Face-off win by St. FX. Puck goes back in deep. LaJoy with it. She'll throw it cross ice to Lombak. Lombak will try and take it back Pitts, but she collides there with the linesman who won that one. Gagne now, she'll try and take it through the neutral zone, but she's stood up by King. King to Lombak. Lombak has some room, but the puck just bounces over her stick. She'll try and throw it out in front for goal scorer Morden. She's unable to get a hold of it. The puck will trickle all the way back down to Ray here, who's going to cover up for a face-off. Some physical play picking up here.
Yeah, and you're seeing a bit of a couple arms in the air here for the St. FX faithful. One, a penalty on the play here. That'd be a tough call to make when the feet did stop moving and a little bit of an easy drop, a little bit of a sell job there that didn't pay off for the St. FX X-Women.
Puck now thrown to center ice. No Pandas home for it. Anchor tries to chip it out and around, but she's tied up there. That's Kaiser now with it. She'll put it out wide. To the net now. Nice chance there by Willen, but she's stopped up by the St. FX defense. Willen again, she's in after it. That's the Rookie of the Year in 2019-2020 for these Alberta Pandas. Through the middle to Hasteman, sorry. She's unable to pick it up, and we'll see Reich bring it the other way. She tries to do a little outside in, but puck is poked off her stick. Joyce now battling for it. She wins a good stick battle there. She chips it out to center ice. Perry gets it in to the Alberta zone. It's Cazell who gets it around, and the puck comes all the way trickling back to the St. FX end. That's not going to be enough for an icing as Lothian's back to retrieve it. Lothian gets it to Moses with a dangerous turnover there, and she, off the cross, goal, scores! A bit of a broken play there for the Pandas as the puck comes off the crossbar, off the chest of Craig, and in behind Madison Oakes.
Great shot off the crossbar, came down. And I'm not sure if many caught it, but a bit of a delay on the Alberta Panda who came onto the ice that stepped on right at the right time to pick up that puck to create that rush going back in. Bit of a heads-up play. You can see a couple conversations here at the end of the Panda bench. Maybe a little bit of strategy paying off to go up 2-0 here in the late stages of the second period.
Yes, that will put the Pandas ahead by 2. Another late period goal by the Alberta Pandas increases this lead. The Pandas with it here again. That's Perrette. She'll put it through. Boardhead Wee will pick it up, but puck's poked off her stick by Pierce. Battle now for it along the boards. Pierce with it. Over to Lothian's going to pick it up and put it to her partner, Moses. Moses to Switzer, who's going to chip it down, but wrong side of center. But Ray comes out to play it, and the icing is waved off. Long stretch pass for LaJoy, puts it into Lomback. Lomback maybe tripped up there, no call on the play. Moses does battle for it. Morden with it, she'll cycle it down low to LaJoy. LaJoy's going to throw it around the ice. StFX Gagne the first one to it, but a battle now for it with Melnick. Comes back out to the point for Lomback. Lomback, a heater off the foot of Gagne, that one's going to sting. But Anchor now, she picks it up. She's going to walk it in. That's a 2-on-1 with a back checker. Anchor's going to try and go up high, but Oaks read that one all the way. She makes a nice high blocker save. The Pandas pushing for more now as Willen puts it up to the point. Nice save there by Kaizel, but that goes off teammate Anchor. A little bit of a tie-up in front of the net as Morden and Smith go at it. Walk in here. That's Soiko. Soiko makes a move to the net, can't get a shot off. Willen now with it. She goes back to Kaizel, who just flips it in. That's Kaiser down low. Lothian able to bump her off the puck and get it around the boards to Gagne. This is a long shift here for the StFX defensive unit as they flip it out to center. Dangerous play there by Leahy. She was looking to play the body in the middle of the ice there. Frustrations flying a little bit now as the refs are going to stop that. Where it starts, that's going to be a head contact penalty, I believe, against the Pandas, as Leahy was playing the body pretty aggressively there, and maybe a little retaliatory by Willen as her hands get up into the face of Leahy.
Yeah, we talked earlier about these puck battles along the wall. Eventually something was going to come from these little mini scrums. One in front of the StFX bench where after the puck was gone, a little bit of extra pushing and shoving, and as standard, only one person is going to the box.
Another power play opportunity here for StFX. You have to think this is a golden opportunity for them to come within one goal of these Pandas before the end of this second period. Battle for it along the boards. McCloskey trying to get it to a teammate, but she's pinned up there by Udall. McCloskey now. She comes up to the high with it. Puck is poked off her stick, much to the glee of the Alberta faithful as Wright goes in on the forecheck. McCloskey, she throws it across the ice to Moss, who has some room. Moss will skate it up. She'll stop up, look for some help. She's played well there by the Panda defender as they have to dump it in down low for McCloskey. McCloskey up to Moss. Moss is going to take a shot at the net. That's gloved down by Ray.
A great job by Moss on that shot there. Delaying for a half second, just catching that Panda defender with just enough to create a shooting lane instead of resulting in a blocked shot here.
Yeah, the Pandas love to get in those shooting lanes. We've seen a battle for StFX to try and get some shots through on the power play. Almost all of the shots in this game coming off the rush, as the Pandas and the X-Women do a great job of getting in the shooting lanes in that in-zone play. 23 seconds left on the clock now. Face-off is won by StFX, but goes right onto the stick of Kaiser. Kaiser's going to take it in. Kaiser with it. Oh, great chance there. She throws it on net from the corner. That's fought off by Oaks. Pitts now. Sorry, that's Lothian. She's going to give it to Switzer. Just not enough time to get a chance on the net here for the X-Women. That'll do it for the second period. The score is 2-0 for the Alberta Pandas over the StFX X-Women. A little bit more offensively going on in that second period. We saw a few more power play opportunities. STFX will have a 42-second power play to start the third. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back after this. You're watching U Sports on CBC.
Le sport. Le sport en direct sur ICTou.tv. 100% énergie. 100% gratuit.
Let me guess. First claim with us?
Yep. Here we go.
We checked your coverage, and we're good to go.
Oh, we'll see.
TD Insurance is the only provider with auto centers that handle your claim on site.
Sure.
We'll do your repair.
It can't be this easy. Can it?
And your rental car, too.
Is this a dream? Am I wearing pants?
Advisors, repairs, and rentals, all in one place. If you were expecting drama, you won't find it here. TD. Ready for you.
We're coming to you live from the Woolwich Memorial.
We are athletes. Do you know what Husky athletes are made of? Determination. Hustle. Resilience.
We're part of a team and a community.
We work hard for every goal.
And every grade.
Do you know what Husky athletes become? Pharmacists. Teachers. Professionals. Olympians.
When you invest in student athletes, you invest in the future.
When you elevate her, you elevate the game.
Watch women win.
Everyone watches Husky women's sports. See her,
be her.
This is a call to empower, to unite, and to celebrate the bold in all their glory. It's time to own the ice. Are you ready?
No way! Thank you. Are you serious? Merci, wow. I can't believe I won. It's crazy. Oh, that's great to hear. I just love the game and I'm just so thankful.
Where exceptional student athletes are born, where records are broken, where great plays are made, where school colors ignite passion, where champions prevail, where tradition is celebrated, Ontario University Athletics.
Hey U Sports fans, check out shop.usports.ca for this week's promotional item from the Nike Team Collection. Visitez le shop.usport.ca pour en profiter de la promotion de la semaine de la collection Nike Team.
Welcome back live inside the Dan Snyder Memorial Arena. You're watching this morning's consolation final between the number 1 seed Alberta Pandas and the number 4 seed the STFX X-Women. We've seen a lot of physical play today between these two teams as neither team wants to go home without that Nationals stage W in their pocket. Going into the third here, Alberta leads 2-0. Lots of chances off the rush here. Both goaltenders, not typical starting goaltenders for these two teams, but have played very well so far this game.
Yeah, great on both sides to get both of their secondary goaltenders in to get some experience on the national stage.
It's time now for our U Sports Championship Spotlight, brought to you by PepsiCo Foods Canada. Today we're going to sit down with Cole McKay, winner of the AUS Student Athlete Community Service Award, and we'll learn more about what this UNB Red holds close to his heart.
I'm from a small town in Ontario, Sault Ste. Marie. Grew up playing hockey from, almost the time I could walk, and it's a family pastime. I have an older brother. My mom, dad are great. Everyone's in the family is so supportive. I like to think I'm an outgoing person. I work really hard, care about my teammates, my friends, girlfriend, parents, everyone. So I'm just a really attentive and caring guy, I think. And I like to have fun in doing whatever I'm doing, whether that be at the rink, something to have fun with at school, at the library, wherever it is. So I'm just always trying to enjoy myself, see the best in every situation, and have fun in my university years right now. Within Ontario, there's a few schools that try to recruit me, and there's all good options. There's so many good universities in Canada, and but then when UNB called, the first phone call, I knew it was a special place, both to get your degree, but also continue your trajectory as a hockey player. And it worked out just as planned. And as you know, that's not always the case, and throughout your life, like, things happen. Hockey Gives Blood is an initiative through Canadian Blood Services. Stu Middleton, he's based out in Western Canada. He kind of recruited me, amongst plenty of others across Canada, to join and be an ambassador for the program. So what it is pretty much is using our platforms, athletes. So starting in the CHL and the OHL, we kind of have notoriety within our communities. So kind of leveraging that to just promote awareness, promote people that, first of all, how easy it is to donate blood, how important it is, and to share stories of how it truly changes people's lives. I look back just personally on how I got where I am today, and there's so many people that helped me along the way. It starts with my parents, but it goes into teachers, coaches, trainers, doctors, nurses. There's everyone. But as you go through your life, there's certain people that make a significant impact. And volunteering is something that a lot of people just misstep, and they don't give the credit it deserves, I don't think. So as young people, you kind of got to reflect, realize how you got where you are today, and just say, okay, well, I'm going to do my part now and kind of give back to the community. We're very lucky. Help somebody achieve their goals like people help me achieve mine. Find your passion and just give back. And we're super lucky to be in the position we are, and to be able to play a sport and go to school. And it's just super important to give back, in my opinion.
Hey, changemakers. Change it up. Turn ideas into action. Passion into purpose. And questions into real solutions. Because whatever path you choose, here, you'll make an impact and get ready to change the world. Make your change. Discover your story at Waterloo.
This is a call to empower, to unite, and to celebrate the bold in all their glory. It's time to own the ice. Are you ready?
Feel every hit, goal, and celebration as if you're standing right on the sideline, immersing you in the game like never before, bringing heart-pounding action directly to millions of fans. We deliver unparalleled simplicity and tailor-made digital broadcasting solutions crafted to make you feel every moment in a way like never before. Our passionate team ensures your message reaches audiences reliably every time. Proudly Canadian, we bring a touch of innovation and our passion to the world stage. ISI Live, be there.
Hey U Sports fans, check out shop.usports.ca for this week's promotional item from the Nike Team Collection. Visitez le shop.usport.ca pour en profiter de la promotion de la semaine de la collection Nike Team.
Aussi bon que Messi! C'est pas aussi mauvais que la cigarette, ça?
C'est juste une vapoteuse.
Fais-toi pas d'illusions.
Vapoter, c'est jouer avec sa santé. Brise l'illusion.
At Miller Waste, we're proud to sponsor the 2025 U Sports Women's Hockey Championship. There is lots of trash talk on the ice. At Miller Waste, we talk trash every day. We serve over 2 million Ontario households weekly, transforming more than 175,000 metric tons of recyclables and organic waste into reusable resources. Proudly Canadian, family owned, always driving hard to the net. Let's make a difference. Game on.
U Sports on CBC, présenté by les championnats U-Sport à Radio-Canada, une présentation du gouvernement du Canada, the Government of Canada, Nike, Fox 40, Veraburn Medical Supplies, les bagues Baron Rings, BioSteel, and by et par les systèmes Miller Waste Systems.
Welcome back to the region of Waterloo. We're in Elmira, Ontario, inside the Woolwich Memorial Arena. You're watching our early morning first consolation game between STFX X-Women and the Alberta Pandas. The score 2-0 for the first seed Alberta Pandas, as they were able to score 2 late period goals in both the first and the second. In the second period, we see the shots on goal favoring the X-Women 11-9, but the only goal coming from Craig at the 16-minute mark, that puts the lead up to 2. Jay, the 2-goal lead, often referred to as the worst lead in hockey. What do the X-Women have to do coming out into this third period to put themselves on top?
I think the X-Women just need to keep up the pressure. They've been doing a great job of generating some chances. They got to find a way to get, like I said, get pucks through. Alberta on the same breath is doing a great job of clogging up the shooting lanes. So a seesaw battle here. As you can see, shots are even pretty much at 18-17.
Yeah, X will start this game this period on a power play for 42 seconds. No power play strikes so far, but if the X-Women can capitalize in those first 42 seconds, we're going to be looking at a totally different third period early on.
Certainly, and with X having a top 10 U-Sport power play, you're going to look to capitalize on that. Alberta doing a great job with an aggressive penalty kill to combat that. So special teams playing a key role here, and you know, with 1 period left to go in their season, they're going to want to come out and at least get one early here in the third period.
Absolutely, and we've seen the neutral zone has been tough to come by. This is a game of battles right now, whether those are along the boards, in front of the net. The second goal by the Panda is a bit of what we might call a garbage goal, bouncing off the Panda logo into the back of the net. So we'll see how maybe frustrations fly in this third period as battles continue and the physical play ramps up.
Yeah, you can see in these highlights here a lot of play along the boards here. As both teams are getting set to take to the ice.
Officials letting a lot of the physical play go in the first 2 periods here, really only calling shots to the head, as we see that happen pretty often, as well as the stick penalties. And new rules in U-Sport the last few years centered around player safety have pretty much made any contact to the head area an automatic 2 or 4 minutes.
Yeah, and understandably so, and you've seen a lot of the officials' calls today, or non-calls, are also coming with an explanation, so doing a great job of not getting too in the way and calling the stuff that needs to be called, but letting these teams play it out here.
STFX faithful, loud, and ready for a win here, as they'd love to be able to take at least one Nationals win home to Antigonish.
And you're seeing the Pandas fans to our left here on the broadcast getting into it as well with a little bit of high energy music. You see late in this second period as well, the Pandas starting to go up high on the ex-goalie. Maybe a little bit of scouting here throughout the game, and they're starting to target the upper part of the X-net here. They're going to look to add to their lead here.
Yeah, so far not a game of possession, but a game of odd women rushes, as a lot of the breaks have come off of either breaking up a play in the neutral zone or shot blocks that go immediately in the other direction with everyone else going the other way. A little louder to start this third period than we've seen. Maybe the fans waking up after an early morning start as we approach lunchtime here.
You can see the Panda faithful here. Both benches on their feet, making some noise. Both teams are going to finish out this tournament with a lot of energy and end their seasons on a high note.
We'll see the first power play unit for the STFX X-Women to start this period. Lothian, a stellar player on the blue line for the X-Women. We'll see her be a major part of this power play, and if we're going to see STFX come back in this game, you have to think the next 4 to 2 seconds are very critical.
Yeah, we talk about quick starts here. When you're starting the third period down 2-0, and you have a power play, you have to cash in here. So this is going to be a very, very important 42 seconds here.
Catch the men's volleyball championship Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern here on CBC Sports. Oh, and to start, Pitts had a chance there, but that deflects high off a defender's stick. Switzer now with it. She makes a couple moves. She'll try and get it back to Lothian. Lothian able to move it to Moses, but just off her stick. She'll have to just put it back down deep. Switzer now. She'll pick it up in the corner, makes a nice move, but she's smothered by 2 Pandas in the corner. Udall back with it. She gets checked by Pitts. Pitts battling for it now with Switzer. Switzer hunting for a loose puck. Reich now. She'll pick up a loose one, but unable to get it out. Lothian will take control at the point. That does it for the STFX power play, as Willen back on the ice. Willen now with it. She has the fresh legs. She'll pop through the middle of the ice and try and take it wide against Lothian. She makes a nice little move, but gets a shot off through the feet of Lothian, but Oak steers that aside. Willen back with it now. She'll move it to the point for Melnick. Melnick over to Anchor. Anchor just lobs one at the net. That one was dangerous as it just bounces off a foot and wide. Lothian flips it up on the backhand. Neat little play by McCloskey to drop that one down. She is in on net. Down over to Perry. Perry unable to convert as that one was a little too high. Perry throws it back out in front for McCara, but she can't get it up and over. That one's deflected wide. Hinch rips one towards the net. That's blocked by Parrott, who does a good job getting in that shooting lane. Perry now. Anchor picks up her chip shot, puts it along the wall to Melnick. Melnick tries to get it out, unable to do so. But that's going to be a penalty called behind the play on Hinch for interference, and she gets tied up with Perret, and that's unfortunate timing for the X-Women, who looked like they were having some really good sustained pressure there and had Alberta back on their heels a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Some great hand-eye coordination by McCloskey to knock that puck down and go in 2-on-1. Weren't able to cash in, and a lot of offensive momentum on what we thought was going to be a zone exit. That's where Hinch just stepped in front of the Panda winger and off to the box for 2 minutes or less.
Alberta will start this power play with the puck deep in the X zone. Comes back up to the point, bouncing puck, just gets past Soiko, back out to the neutral zone. She's pressured hard there by Switzer, who causes a turnover. Moses is gonna come into the zone. She'll try one on net. That's off Ray. Rebound harmlessly picked up by Alberta. They'll head the other way. That's Lombak with it. She'll carry it into the X-Women zone. She'll stop up, look for some opportunity here. She puts it over to Anchor. They're pressured heavily at the top there by Moses. Forced to swing it back down and around. That's Morden at the half boards up against Haseman. Haseman doing some good work in there against two Pandas. Loose puck popped out to the line, and Pitt's able to chip that one down and out. Jay, we talk about this short format tournament. Momentum so important. 3 major things that can bring you momentum: a goal, an amazing defensive player save, and a shutdown penalty kill. We'll see if STFX right now can get momentum off a nice shutdown penalty kill here.
Yeah, like you mentioned, STFX is going to look to kill this penalty off, and Alberta's going to hope that they don't allow any shorthanded goals. They've been perfect all season, not a single shorthanded goal allowed all season. They're going to look to keep that going.
That's Lothian with it now. She's able to lob one high to the line, just out. Pressure there from Garnett. Udall with it now. She's pressured by 2 X-Women. They're able to pop it back to Moss, who sends it down the ice. Ray now reading the change, tries to get a pass up, but that just goes through the stick of 2s. Back in the Panda end. Hard forecheck there. Almost a wraparound chance for Perry, but she's unable to tuck it past the foot of Ray. Power play over now for Alberta. Successful kill for the X-Women as we're back to 5-on-5 play. Melnick stops that one, pops it back into the X-Women end, but offside as the Pandas need to clear. Joyce with it. She'll chip it through the neutral zone. A little bit too far for Leahy. A long lead pass broken up by the stick of Perry. And that'll be offside at the Panda line. Smith in there against Bourdadouis for the face-off. That's won by the X-Women. Clouston with some physical play. Oh, after a little bit of a battle, Clouston trips over the foot of Carruthers as Carruthers is down on the ice, and she's gonna go sit for 2 minutes for a trip.
Yeah, you see Alberta going back to the power play. You see the play here. Just stuck a leg out just in time. I'm not sure if that's just an unfortunate scene of events, but nonetheless, Alberta is off to the power play.
Yeah, Carruthers buried along the boards there, maybe just trying to flip to get up, but the ref read intention in that one, and she'll sit for 2. Another power play opportunity here for Alberta, a power play unit that's been held scoreless so far this tournament. Some heavy pressure from Lothian forces the Pandas to move it deep. That's Morden coming around now. She'll try and find a path to the net. She'll get in, try and move it to her forehand. That's broken up by Pitts. Pitts now. Sorry, that's Morden with it. She throws one towards the net, but that's deflected harmlessly wide of the net. Back up on the point. Anchor now with the one-timer. Oh, Lombak almost got the tip on that, but I don't think Anchor got as much stick on it as she would have liked. King now, she'll pull it to the middle and go for a shot. That goes wide. Bounces off the boards. to Pitts, and Pitts just throws it back through center, and King able to pick that up. King now moves it over to her partner, Anchor. StFX arguing that was the wrong side of center, tip in. The ref's deeming she got enough of a step for it. Back in the Pandas' end. That's Kaizel. She gets it to Twos. Twos unable to handle the pass, and Hasteman able to put it back deep, 200 feet from her own net. Twos now with it. She'll carry it up. She moves it cross ice to Udall. That pass a little bit too hard for her. StFX able to push it back, but picked up again here by LaJoy, and she'll bring it into the X-Women end. LaJoy with it now. She moves it up to Twos. Panda's unable to string the pass sequence they wanted together as X is able to clear it down to the other end. 5 seconds left now on the minor against the X-Woman. Willen will move it up to Morden. Morden will bring it in, make a move to the middle, but she gets taken down. Pass across ice here for Hinch. Hinch will walk up with it and put it cross ice to McCara. McCara with a nice little tuck in. Looking for Carruthers, but won't find her there.
You'll see quite the collision. The Panda winger slowly getting up now.
Hinch, the big body back there for the X-Women, gets the best of Lomback on a physical play, and that'll send StFX back to the box. A little bit of penalty trouble for the X-Women here in the beginning of this third period. Hard to get offensive momentum going when you're down 2 goals, trying to find something when you have players in and out of the box.
Yeah, and that's 2 penalties in a row for Hinch, so you're going to have to look to keep that discipline with only 13 minutes left here in the third period. If they want to get on the board, for the sake of the Panda fans, we're not going to say that word everyone's thinking, but X is going to do their best to try and spoil that.
Yeah, absolutely. X would love to get a goal before the 10-minute mark here to put it at a 2-goal, but oh, what a save there by Oakes, but the rebound is tucked in on the short side. That's going to be LaJoy capitalizing on a rebound after a great save by Oakes. But the third try gets to the back of the net, and that'll put the Pandas up by 3.
Just like you talked about earlier in the game, the Pandas had to do a better job of getting the pucks from the outside, starting from a high as opposed to a low point in the zone. A great job here. Stopping at the net, picking up that rebound, and they extend their lead to 3 with just under 13 minutes left here in the third period.
Yeah, that power play unit of Alberta finally getting one to the back of the net. And some energy now as Clouston goes wide, tries to get a shot on net. That's off a shin pad and wide. Getting into miracle territory here for StFX as they come through the neutral zone. That's McCloskey. She tries to center it. That hits a few feet. Joyce able to corral it at the blue line. McCara now, she tries to center it. No one home for that one. Perry will pick it up on the far side, drop it off for Moses. Moses moves it down low to McCloskey. Out in front, McCara tied up there on the doorstep, not able to get a stick on that. Perry now. Some physical play down there in the corner as StFX tries to get something going here. Out to center ice. Garrett's going to pick it up. Garnett's going to take it in wide. Has the puck poked away from her as they get tied up behind the play, but that's Hasteman out at center ice. She'll have to be careful here. Garnett stuck low in the zone. On the far side, not sure they saw her there. StFX carries it in offside of the Panda line.
Yeah, Garnett and the Panda defender got tied up here right behind the play. The official's very vocal about not wanting to call the penalty, just telling them to break it up, but X did not see her stuck in the zone. Unfortunately, couldn't get out before the offside was called.
StFX now wins that face-off, dumps it in. Ray content to cover that one up for another face-off. StFX really dominant in the face-off circle here today through all 4 lines. Unable to capitalize on some of those offensive zone face-offs though.
Yeah, great job in the game of possession. They're probably starting to get a little frustrated they can't generate too much of a quality chance here through the third period.
It's Moss back with it. She gives it to her partner, Lothian. Lothian's going to take her space. She picks her way through the neutral zone. A little extra stutter step on the far side puts her teammate Garnett offside.
Yeah, a little bit of a fumble there at the blue line. Unfortunately, that was all it took just to set things offside, and we reset play here just outside of the Alberta zone.
Shots in favor of the scoreless X-Women right now. Unable to generate any really quality chances in on Ray. Maybe one or two as that pass goes in front of the net. A little bit of a scary one for Oaks. She slides along with it, but Smith with it now. She'll try and carry it into the Alberta zone. She'll chip it, but the Pandas get there first. Kaizel, she'll move it to Willen, who puts it into the center to Soiko. Soiko will just flip it out, and that goes out to Lothian, who takes a hard shot into the Panda zone. Centering attempt there from Smith, broken up as the Pandas are going to head in the other direction. They'll dump it in for a change. Battle for it in the corner, that's Moses. She'll flip it around on her backhand, but that's broken up by King. Moses again. Joyce now with it, she'll move it up the wall to Switzer. That's broken up in the middle. The Pandas are heading the other way. That's Lombak. Putting it down low to LaJoy, the power play goal scorer for the Pandas. Switzer picks it up with speed, takes it to the outside. She'll try and find Pitts in the middle, but that's a little bit too far for her. Joyce will put it down and low to Switzer. Switzer makes a nice move. She tries to bank it off the skate of Morden, but that goes nowhere, and the Pandas pick it up again. King in her own end. Tries to get it up, but that's picked up by STFX captain McCara. She'll try and take it to the net here. No one home for her. She'll walk around with it. Tries to drop it off there, but a little bit poked off her stick, and Hinch is there to back her up, but Hinch now fans on her pass after the pressure from Boardhead Wee, but comes into the Panda end with McCloskey. Battle for it now along the boards. That's put back into the Panda zone. McCloskey after it. Picked up by Kaizel, but not out. Panda's the other way now with Perrette, bringing it across the blue line and chipping it for herself. Moss, the first one on it. Nice lead pass up from McCloskey, but a little bit too much for her to handle. She just has no choice. I thought McCloskey got some stick on it there, but apparently not. That'll be icing against the X-Women. The clock again not stopping. We'll have to have some seconds put back up on it.
That'll maybe buy a little bit of rest time here for both sides. It looks like it is about a 5-second reset on the clock. 8:43 left here.
See a little replay of that goal. LaJoy able to tuck it in on her third try. The first one, a nice Oak save. The second one off the post. The third one into the back of the net. Just over 8.5 minutes left here in this third period. Hinch coming through the neutral zone for X. She'll take it wide. She tries to find someone in front, but no X-Women in sight. Only Pandas. Garnett will keep it in. Leahy doing battle, but she'll lose that one. As we see some more pile-up scrum battles here along the boards. Garnett comes out with that one. She'll look for someone to move it to. She trades places with Moses, dishes it to Lothian. Back to Moses. Lothian looking for a lane. She'll find it. Oh, a nice tip in front there by Leahy, but Ray able to track that one through some bodies and cover up.
Yeah, great job getting that puck through.
That'll take us to a break here. We'll be back after this. You're watching U Sports on CBC.
Le sport en direct sur icitout.tv. 100% énergie. 100% gratuit. Votre meilleur plan de match pour voir des performances exceptionnelles sur l'appareil de votre choix. C'est icitout.tv.
This is a call to empower, to unite, and to celebrate the bold in all their glory. It's time to own the ice. Are you ready?
Welcome back to Elmira, Ontario. Thank you for joining us for this Consolation Final number 1. We'll see the Consolation Final number 2 coming up at 1 p.m. Eastern here on CBC Sports. That'll see the number 6 seed UBC Thunderbirds take on the number 7 seed UNB Reds. I'm Amanda Smith here with Jay Shaw, number 1 Alberta Pandas, leading the number 4 STFX X-Women 3-0 with just under 8 minutes here to go in this third period. Pandas now try and chip it out, but that's broken up by Moses. Moses will try and put it through the center, but no one's home, and Keyser will take it through. Pierce now has a little bit of space. She tries to center it to the net, but nobody home there, and Ray will cover it up. If you're joining us from home this morning and plan to join us in person at the Dan Snyder Memorial Arena later today, make sure to stop by the 50/50 booth just as you enter the arena in support of the Grand River Regional Cancer Center. Draw will happen live Sunday night. You don't need to be here to collect it. Pot sits at about $1,500. Down in the Alberta zone now, that's Smith. She'll put it back to the point, but she's immediately taken by 2 Pandas. Lombak, she'll try and get on that puck, a little too far from her, but she does battle against Hinch, leaves it there. X first one's on it here as Carruthers will take it through the middle. Carruthers looks for some space, puck just trickles off her stick, but Hinch able to pick that one up and throw it towards the net. Cazell will pop it up to her teammate who tries to get it deep, but that's broken up by Carruthers. Hinch will regroup it in the X-Woman zone. Joyce now, she makes a move, puts it over to her partner Hinch. McCloskey dumped at center ice as she was looking for a pass. Broken up there by Makara, but nobody home to help her out, but she'll come back through center ice, make a good defensive play, and dump it back into the Panda zone. Ray out to play it. She'll tuck it around for Melnick, but she's immediately pressured there by McCloskey. Perry with it. She tries to find some room to the net on her backhand. She does, but that'll go off the glove of Ray and trickle wide. McCloskey now tries to take it to the net. She's dumped by 2s. STFX now playing with a little bit of desperation as we enter the final minutes of this period. McCloskey with a nice move. She'll put one on net. No one home. Rebound. Oh, McCara can't quite get enough of it as that one goes wide. She had a lot of net to look at on the far side of the net.
Yeah, STFX doing a great job these last couple minutes, really putting on the pressure. The play pretty much stuck in the Panda zone there. A golden opportunity. Unfortunately, just didn't get all of it. As she was looking skyward, wanting that shot back.
Face-off taken there by Udall, chipped into her own bench. She'll say sorry to her teammates as she might have caught 1 or 2 of them with that chip. The Pandas, few connections to the PWHL is Lindsay Post, a former U-Sport Championship MVP goaltender. Played a season with the New York Sirens alongside head coach Howie Draper. Another former Alberta Panda, Alex Poznikov. She currently plays with the Montreal Victoire, a Broadbrook Trophy Player of the Year winner while she was with Alberta. Great to see some opportunities for these talented athletes at the professional level. Even better to see these U-Sports girls entering the league. Battle here for it. Craig able to chip it into the STFX zone. Moss takes it around her own net. She'll pass it back to partner Lothian. Lothian a long lead pass to Leahy, but Leahy unable to get a stick on it. That'll be icing against the X-Women.
Yeah, you're starting to see STFX starting to stretch things out. Looking to continue that momentum that they've had for the past couple minutes and get back into the Panda zone, trying to generate some shots, and hopefully they can open up the scoring on their end.
Yeah, 25-20 in favor of the X-Women are the shots, but not a lot of quality chances. A lot of shots from the outside, not a lot of rebounds coming off Ray, so probably a balance of great rebound control and not enough pucks into the feet of the Alberta goaltender. That one will come all the way down the ice. Ray will stop that up for her defense. Willen with it. Willen looking for some help, but she's pressured hard by 2 X-Women. Switzer out in the slot. Her shot goes just wide. Moses now battling for it. We've seen a lot of this defensive pairing today. Moses battles for it. Willen puts it up. In on net. A little bit of a broken play there. Poked away by Oakes. Lothian now with it. She'll put it to partner Moses. She skates through center, puts it up to Pitts. Pitts will dump it in. That goes around the boards. Moses the first one in on it. She chips it around looking for Pitts once again. Pitts is going to try and put this out front. But Carruthers skated out of that high slot position and no one's home for it. Gazelle now with it. She'll put it up. A lot of Pandas on the ice up there, but good awareness to not jump on the ice early. It's Morden drops it off there for Lombak. Lombak pressured hard there by Hinch, who's not afraid of some physical play. Hinch, a big body, wins that. Puck battle is Joyce picks it up. She skates it through center and tries to find Gagne, but that one a little bit too far. Puck battle behind the net, comes free for Panda captain LaJoy. She'll just pop it out to center and go for a change. Hinch with it now. She puts it in on net towards Ray. Ray deflects it out to King. King tries to find somebody, but nobody home at the point. Oh, and a dangerous one there. Looked like a clean catch off a shot from McCara, but Ray can't handle it. Dangerous rebound out front. Lothian now at the point. She'll put one on net. That one just goes wide. Lothian has it again. Lothian makes a nice move at the blue line to keep it onside. Shot to the net. Rebounds there, but only for a second as Ray nice offensive sequence there for the STFX X-Women as they have a good opportunity there to try and break this lead down to 2. Is another shot there by Lothian. That goes off the foot of Melnick and wide. STFX pressuring here now. Hopefully they can get something going quick as we're getting a little bit into too little too late territories. That one comes off the half boards, but a good job by Anchor to tie up the stick of Hasteman. Alberta now the other way. That's Reich. She'll throw it at the net. Oak's able to cover that one up.
You see STFX throwing everything they've got here in these tail end here of the third period.
Yeah, just over 2 minutes to go here. Definitely absolute miracle territory for STFX, but it's great to see the offensive effort continuing as no team in this tournament wants to go down without a fight.
Absolutely, and Alberta doing a great job in their own end, just boxing out, not allowing for that secondary shot to come through.
Yeah, absolutely. Both these teams playing in the Consolation have a lot to be proud of this year, both winning their division for the first time in a few years. STFX for the first time since the 1920 season, so great to be back at the national stage for these two teams as league winners. As we're under 2 minutes to go in this third period, that's Joyce. She'll move it to Switzer. Switzer tries to make a move. That's broken up. LaJoy is going to take it the other way. Moses picks up that dump attempt and puts it over to McCloskey. McCloskey will just throw it on net. That's going to be covered up by Ray. As I mentioned, Alberta back on the national stage for the first time since 2019-2020. that tournament in PEI cut short by the long past memory, COVID-19. Last time they were there, previous to that, they were actually Golden Path Trophy winners in 2016-2017. The program, a ton of history on this stage, 8 total Golden Path Trophy wins. They hold the record for most consecutive finals appearances from 01 to 07, and the most championships in a row, hitting a three-peat between 2001 and 2004. So great to see this team back on the national stage. Not the way they wanted the tournament to go, but Canada West champions. They have a lot to be proud of for their season this year. We'll see a face-off here in the Alberta end. A minute 22 left to go in this third period. Switzer in on it. She loses a puck battle there as Pitts picks it up. Pitts tries to put it out front, but that's broken up by a foot. StFX just throwing every single puck they can touch towards Ray's direction to see what they can make happen in the final minute or so of this period. That one goes out front. That's broken up by Parrott. Unable to clear the zone as Pitts takes an awkward fall into the boards.
You can see the Pandas doing everything they can to keep StFX off the board. As we're starting down 51.6 seconds left here in the third period.
StFX will take a timeout here, see if they can get something going. And for those of you watching at home, not the 1920 season, the 19/2020 season. U Sports women's hockey history not going as far back as the 1920s. But that'll be StFX is AUS champions for the first time since the 2019-2020 season.
Your timeout here late in the third. Both teams huddling around. You see the StFX bench, the faithful behind them giving a standing ovation as both teams in the final 51 seconds of their seasons. And if you're a StFX X-Women, you definitely know what the motivation is here for the next 51 seconds. For the Pandas, same thing. They're going to want to keep StFX off the board. You see StFX has thrown 35 shots at Misty Ray this morning.
Yeah, try not to be biased as an announcer, but half of my household is StFX alumni, so great to see that moment for them there. And they're going to call a penalty here. StFX high-fiving about it as Alberta heads to the box. We'll see maybe a late chance for a goal here to get that goose egg off the board for these X-Women.
Yeah, you're seeing not much of a argument from the Pandas on that call, given where we are at this stage in the game, but they've still got 43 seconds left to get through for 30-year goaltender Misty Ray.
Switzer with it, that's broken up. McCara on the half board, she's gonna take a rip towards the net. Loose puck in front, no one's able to find it. Moses now, she'll take a rip. Oh, that's a great save by Ray through a few bodies as she's able to cover that one up. .30 seconds to go in this third period between the Alberta Pandas and the StFX X-Women. Consolation final number 1. Face-off win there by the Pandas. Anchor now on it. She'll try and battle a few seconds off the clock. Switzer will break that one up. Pitts and Switzer battle for the puck against LaJoy and King as these final seconds start ticking off the clock. Puck battle continues.
And you can see as the clock winds down to 0, a little bit of late tempers flare over, but Alberta Pandas are able to preserve the shutouts for Misty Ray. 36 shots 36 saves.
Both teams now will get a standing ovation from the fans who traveled to watch them today. A lot of local players, a lot of families coming from afar. The 1 p.m. game, for anyone who's looking to tune into Consolation Final number 2, that one's going to run a little bit late as the operations team has to get the ice cleaned up and ready for that, as this game ran a little bit longer. So stay tuned for that delay. Final score here tonight, Alberta Pandas 3, STFX X-Women 0. And that'll do it for Consolation Final number 1, as these teams line up to shake hands. A hard-fought game by both sides.
You see a lot of hugs being given out at the tail end of the Pandas handshake line for goaltender Misty Ray, celebrating a great way to cap off the end of the season here. You see some hugs as well for some of the senior players, some mutual respect, who have both spent, or a number of them who have spent 4 to 5 years in the league. Lots of great conversations reflecting on their time, and there's a lot of players in this tournament that you'll have to keep an eye on down the line for where they progress with their careers.
Yeah, absolutely. So great to see a league like the PWHL where some of these talented players can end up after their careers. A lot of eyes on these leagues now as you look at draft prospects and some of these top players looking to make a name for themselves.
We're seeing some of these replays here.
STFX, a flurry of chances in the final 5 or so minutes of that period, but unable to get one into the net. As STFX drops this one, no goals on the board, and we see Alberta here, they were just throwing pucks to the net off the rush, able to get some good bounces going their way. As we're down on the ice here for the Nike player of the game for both teams, that's going to be Switzer for STFX. Will take home those honors. On the Alberta side, no question here. That's going to be goaltender Ray with the 36 save shutout in her first start on the national stage. That's great to see as she poses for a picture with her new hardware. Alberta excited to go home with a win here after not the tournament they were expecting to have, coming in as the 1 seed. We'll see both teams salute their fans as they head off the ice.
Great showing this morning by both sides. A full day of hockey here in Elmira. Stay tuned as we get updates on the start of the next game. We'll try and communicate that through.
And on behalf of Amanda Smith, here with Jay Shaw and our entire U Sports on CBC crew, thank you for joining us for this morning's consolation game. Love to give a shout out to all the volunteers as well inside the Woolwich Memorial Centre. You are the people that make tournaments like this possible. Thank you for making these girls feel like rock stars, the rock stars that they are. And make sure to join us for the rest of our day's game. 1 p.m., like we said, a bit of a delayed start, but we'll try to communicate that time to you. 4 p.m., we'll have the first semis between the Concordia Stingers and the Waterloo Warriors. And 7 p.m. tonight, the second semifinal between the Toronto Varsity Blues and the Bishop Skaters. Again, I'm Amanda Smith here with Jay Shaw. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning. You're watching U Sports on CBC.